Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Now today we're going to talk about top 5 things to avoid in roleplay. Now roleplay is when you pretty much write stories with another person. You have a character and you have a backstory. You can have multiple characters, but the most famous example of this would be Dungeons & Dragons. You can roleplay in games like World of Warcraft, that's what I used to do and still do from time to time, and Final Fantasy XIV. Those are the two games I know of which have a lot of roleplay. You can roleplay on the forums and you can roleplay in things like Discord. Now, I wanted to make a disclaimer that this is not a, oh my goodness, you should never, you can't play this specific thing or this ever. No, this is just tips and things, generally speaking, to avoid when you're role-playing. I have a lot of experience behind me, many years of character building, role-playing with the community, in World of Warcraft specifically, so this is basically based off of my experience, just a general how-to thing with a bit of fun skits on the side. So, coming in at number 5 would be metagaming. Metagaming is when your character knows something that they really shouldn't. Now, in games like World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy, there's sometimes player profiles where they'll have their names and they'll have their backstories, or perhaps it's something that the DM knows, the person that's actually running the roleplay scene, that the players know, but the character shouldn't. And this is using that information in the roleplay itself. You shouldn't do that. This also applies to possible future updates that you as the player knows, but your character probably wouldn't know about any of this. And again, this can be variant. They could be a mind reader or something, but that's a whole thing for another day. Without further ado, though, here's my example. Hello there, Fallen. I see you're a vampire, even though you've hidden it. Oh, and I'm sorry for your loss. How do you know? Oh, did you know that in a few months a bunch of fish people are going to be coming and invading the world? Also, we have to find a magic tome to help us against the war. Wait, how did you know? Oh, and I know what you ate for lunch yesterday. It was the neck of some cute guy in an alleyway. Care to join me for some of that? But I was... And coming in at number 4, we have God modding. God modding is when your character is far, far too powerful or doing things that just don't make sense at the time to other characters. People will very much frown upon this. There's nothing wrong with having powerful characters. It's actually quite fun. I have several, but there's a time and a place for everything. And you have to read the room and feel whether or not it's appropriate to do something. For example, walking into a bar and starting some sort of world-ending event is a bit ridiculous, and in the very least, you're going to get some strange looks, if not kicked out of the roleplay entirely. So, without further ado, here's a demonstration of that. Halt. Excuse me? Nothing personal, kid, but I'm about to crit you for 666 damage. Oh yeah. But ma'am, I'm going to put you through so much hurt your ancestors will feel it. I'm going to put you through more hurt than 1,000 suns or 1,000 shadow cuts. I'm going to put you through so much hurt. Not even all of the fires in the world can hurt you as badly as I'm about to. Ma'am, this is a burger place? Coming in at number 3 would have to be taking in character into out of character, and this usually happens with relationship roleplay. That is, if your character is in a relationship with another character. It's when the player gets a little bit too close, and this isn't always just with ship roleplay. If someone's being a legitimate jerk in roleplay, and that's how their character is, okay, that's fine, but there's a line to cross, and I'm not going to define that line right now, but my example is more geared toward relationship roleplay. And without further ado, here's an example of that. So we're going to have a ship now, right? Yeah, I figured this was some good character progression, so... So, what are you up to tonight? I mean, our characters are so cute together. Oh, what do you mean? I think we should date in real life and make out like our characters do. It makes so much sense, doesn't it?
It's so perfect. I mean, our characters are together, so that obviously means you'd like to date me in real life. Right? Right?
Coming in at number 2 would have to be roleplay policing, and that is pretty crappy, so number 2 is very appropriate for that to be the number. Now, roleplay policing is when you tell someone how to basically roleplay their character when they really shouldn't, or that they can't roleplay something. And I've seen this in World of Warcraft a lot, where someone will have a ridiculous roleplay profile saying you can't play this, 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 and blah blah blah. Now, you're fully capable of choosing to not roleplay with people. That's fine. But if I see that in your profile, I'm not role playing with you. And if you go out of your way to whisper people about their characters and what they should and shouldn't be doing, and again, this is like being ridiculous. For example, I play Sand Lane, the vampires in World of Warcraft, and if someone went out of their way to whisper me, "Oh, you can't do that because of this, this, and this," it's a bit ridiculous. And there's proper lore and things this dungeon master, the game sets up, and a lot of people should abide by that lore. But if you don't want to roleplay someone, you can put them on ignore, or ban them or block them. And here's an example of roleplay police. Ma'am, you're under arrest for role-playing a vampire.
What? But I have the lore behind it. Here's my papers.
So, am I all set? No. While this is true lore and there's reasoning behind it, I'm going to have to decline, ma'am.
But why?
Because I don't like your reasoning, and I don't want you to play that. And coming in at number 1 is the bane of roleplayers' existence, roleplay griefing. This is making a roleplayer's life miserable on purpose. It's basically bullying. And you really shouldn't do it. Like, if you're playing in a game, again, I'll use World of Warcraft as an example because I know that best, but you can do this basically anywhere. Let people have fun. If you're going around and just trying to be disruptive and ruin the fun, that's just not cool. And this does not apply to just having fun. Like, I know some people will, for example, turn into brooms possibly and go play around to be magical brooms, and a lot of people have a lot of fun with that. But this is more geared toward if you're going out of your way to be a bully, disrupt roleplay, try to be as rude as possible while doing it. I know in World of Warcraft there's toy spam. People can just spam toys and like graphic effects to stop roleplay. It's just not cool. You're being a bully. Stop. Now, here's an example of that I have right here.
Hey!
Hey there, how are you? Are you here for adventures as well?
Nope.
Hey, what gives?
You're a loser, and you're not allowed to have fun.
Stop, that's incredibly rude, and I want you to leave.
Make me loser.
And that was top 5 things to avoid in roleplay. And again, this is all variant. I want to remind you of that disclaimer. I'm not telling you what to do, it's just things to keep in mind. And this is also case-by-case basis. Like, if you have a mind reader and you're metagaming, it depends on who you're role-playing with. So basically, talk to the group of people you're role-playing with. If you're role-playing publicly or something like that, read the room. Don't be ridiculous. I think it's a good rule to abide by. Just don't be ridiculous. But yeah, so hope you enjoyed the skits as well. I had a lot of fun creating them and scripting them. But if you like this sort of content, this channel is going to be for writing, roleplay, and video game stuff. I'm not sure if I'm splitting things yet in terms of that. I do have a new horror narration channel, and I'm trying to learn how to edit my audio better and do things in that nature that are a lot of fun. So if you'd like to go check that out, that's in the description. It's Disaster Narrations. And yeah, if you like this sort of content, then I'll have this on my channel. And thank you so much for the support. So have a nice night. or day, whenever you're watching this.